I have a confession to make. Some of you are gonna believe this, and some of you are not gonna believe this. I want this video to be short, but I don't know music theory. Like, I don't understand it. Like, not even a little bit. Like, not at all. Like, mic drop. Like, it's like a microphone drop moment. For some people, it's gonna be a shock because it's like, dude, some of your music is good, not all of it. Be like, like some of your music's good. The instrumentals are good and the singing's good. That's what one group is gonna say. The other group is gonna be like, they're gonna say, no shit that you don't know music theory, because the haters, that is and I know because people get kind of confused, like with my music. They say like, is he making weird music intentionally? Like, is this supposed to be intentional? Like Captain Beefheart, for instance. I don't know if you guys know that band. You gotta go look up that band. But there's a band called Captain Beefheart. It sounds like I think they were in the 60s or 70s, or I don't know what era they were. But it sounds like disorganized schizophrenia, KS. But apparently it was all planned. Like they planned every note, and it was all intentional. It wasn't really bad. It was intentionally bad. And I'm just here to let you know that my music is bad because it's bad. you know, um, like how do I describe it? Like it gets confusing because I tag my music as experimental and avant-garde, so people are just like, so it is intentional, but you're saying it's not. Okay, it's both. Like I kind of like explain this in my Johnnyism rant. There's a video called Johnnyism rant or whatever where I it was a rant about me that can't sing. And that video was mostly focusing on singing, and that video wasn't really that much focused on instrumental making. So that's why I'm making this video to let you know that, yeah, it's both. Like I'd say I'm actually, believe it or not, more of an outsider musician more than I am an experimental avant-garde-ist, if that's a word, because if I was mostly experimental and avant-garde, that would mean that I know some notes and it's mostly intentional. That's what that would mean. But that's not true. That's actually not true. Let me rethink everything about my music. If I had to think of a percentage or a lean, if I had to give it a certain lean, like does it lean to the left or the right? I'd say I lean more towards I really don't know what the fuck I really don't know what I'm doing. I lean more towards that. And then sometimes I lean to, okay, I'm kind of getting there and I'm learning some notes and some stuff, simple notes. And then I say, why don't I just manipulate those notes and make it like Mr. Bungle kind of sound, first album sounding, kind of weird, like it kind of sounds like Primus, kind of in a way, like Freddie went to Mercury. Like that's kind of like like that's actually a good example. It's like basically, I'd say it mostly leans on outsider musician. You know what I mean? Like the Shags, like the band the Shags. It leans more on I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing with that song for the most part, but at the same time I was trying to give it like a Primus sound. The band Primus. Yeah, if you don't know, you guys probably know that band. My Name is Mud and stuff like that. And even if you don't know that band, fun fact, they do the theme song for South Park, which I didn't know that until a couple years ago. I didn't like recognize because the theme for South Park doesn't really sound funk metal-ish. It does not. It sounds kind of just like country, going downtown, South Pow, whatever the fuck the lyrics are. I don't know. My fucking crotch is yours right now. I'm sorry. That's kind of inappropriate. No. Um. I don't know. Well, imagine if that was the lyrics. Going down to South Park and I got crabs. Going down to South Park and I got crabs. The shitty walk. Yeah, the shitty walk. Um, Look at the shitty walk. How come I take your order? um, yeah, I don't know. The Residence is a they're not outsider musician. They know what they're doing, but that's a good band. Like it's very weird. The Residents is a very weird band, you know. But they're not an outsider though. You know, I'm outsider. I don't understand. I can't read sheet music. There's a lot of people that can't read sheet music. I call it shit music. But it's not even just that. It's just I don't understand notes in general. Like a B and I feel like a B and a C and a D sharp or a D flat or what I don't even know, man. It sounds like high school, middle school grades or something. I got a B minus or B plus. I don't memorize any of that shit. I don't know what a B note even sounds like or a D. I can't tell the difference between a B and a D. I'm not tone deaf. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me being tone deaf. I just didn't. I don't memorize these notes to know what's what here. You know, the videos get a little bit too long, so I might want to end this soon. Maybe I'll make a part two or something. But basically, so I'd be like, so yeah, I lean more on outsider musician. And good examples would be Wesley Willis, the Shags. Who else? What's his name? Daniel Johnston is apparently an outsider musician, but he's an outsider musician, and he's the good kind of outsider musician, where his music actually sounds good, whereas Wesley Willis is kind of Wesley Willis is it's so bad that it's good, or is it it's so good that it's bad? I can't tell if it's so bad that it's good or it's so good that it's bad. I can't tell. It's both. Like Wesley Willis's music is just it's kind of like a combination of both, where it's not, it's like it's good in a satiric, like funny way. I did some research on him. He was kind of dead serious about some of his songs, like you know, whooping Batman's, whooping Spider-Man. I'm not gonna get into that. He really hated Batman and Spider-Man. I don't know. He was serious in the interview. One of the interviewers like, "What's wrong with Batman?" He's like, "I hate Batman." Like all serious. Like, okay, okay. I don't know. But yeah, that's a little secret about me is I don't understand music. Okay. So how do you make the music? I go in FL Studio and I just press random buttons for hours, and yeah, I mess around with it sometimes. And I don't want people to freak out about copyright or anything. Sometimes I do this thing where I record I have a file of an existing actual song and I turn it into a MIDI. But here's the thing though, I manipulate the hell out of it so much that it doesn't even sound close to like what it was, to where it's like you can't sue me for it because it's like it doesn't even sound like what it was anymore. And I make copyright free music anyway, so you know like say if there was a copy like say if there was a copyrighted song that went like um Dan 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 dan. I don't know if a song. I don't know if a popular song actually goes like that. So, like, if a song actually goes like that, let me know. I just came off of that off the top of my head, right? Um, I wasn't referencing a real song. I don't know if that's actually a real song, but I would take that. I would go dan 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 dan. I would take that file. Um, like I would have that song downloaded, or sometimes I could record a song with my Audacity, the system sounds. I could record that to get that riff, and then I manipulate the fuck out of it so much to where it's instead of it going dan 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 dan, I change it to dan dan dan. So and sometimes it's like it's still the same 6 notes or whatever, or 5 notes or whatever, but it's different notes. It's like the same amount of notes, but it's completely different notes. So it's like it's just completely different now. Or sometimes I'll remove a note, so it's like dan 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 and now it sounds like and it's like it doesn't even, or I'll add notes to it, so it's like and it doesn't even sound like what it was originally, you know? So it's not, so I'm not breaking copyright laws or anything, so I don't want people freaking out or anything. And I'm a small musician, anyways. Famous musicians do this fucking shit all the time. They fucking rip off riffs and shit. But the thing with me is I manipulate it so much that you can't really even fucking like tell really anymore. You know, it's not even a sound alike anymore. I mean, some songs maybe that I've made was like a sound alike intentionally or unintentionally, or but usually I manipulate so much that it's just like, what even is this? Like blah blah blah. So that's how I make music basically. I try not to do that though, because I don't want to try. I don't want to try. I don't want it to be too close to an original or copyrighted song. So I just mainly just go in FL Studio and tediously place down notes. Like I'll save like this patterns in FL Studio. I'll save like one pattern at a time and build it up. You know, so I'll do 3 notes, go down, 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 then make a second pattern that goes down, 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 and then sometimes I don't even do that. Sometimes I just hit random notes all in one pattern, like fucking the Freddie went to Mercury. It's like la 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 la, all in one fucking pattern. It's just disorganized chaos. So yeah, that's how I do it. The easiest type of music that I make is, believe it or not, the ambient atmospheric drum and bass shit. That's so easy. I'm not even talking about the breakcore shit. I'm not even talking about that. I mean, even without the choppy beats. That is just so fucking easy. All you have to do is fucking just press random like synth noises, and then you gotta pulse stretch it in Audacity or what the fuck it's called. And then you just lay down a fucking bass line, random bass line, and then you hit a fuck, and then you get the fucking amen break. It's called an amen break. The the drum beats that I do, the do 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 do. That's called an amen break. I don't know why. I think it's because that drum loop originated from a song called Amen Break, and ever since that song, I don't know, I forgot who who made that song. But ever since then, drum and bass people be making their own versions of the aim. You got. If you don't know anything about it, you gotta look up the Amen break and break beats and drum and bass to know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know if any of y'all know. You should know because most of my music is drum and bass, and breakcore. And then I do the breakcore. It took a very long time for me to learn how to chop beats and stuff. A lot of people say that my breakcore is not true breakcore because the speed of it is not fast enough. And I realized that. I realized that like 99% of my breakcore isn't really like true breakcore because it's not fast enough. It's still in the normal speed or it's a little bit slow. I guess that's what makes my breakcore different is that the speed is a little bit off. It's not super fast. I want to try to make faster breakcore to make it more proper and more glitchier too. I have a song called Medically Unexplained Symptoms. This is a perfect example of breakcore. It's like super glitchy, like very glitchy. Glitchcore? I don't know if glitchcore is a thing, but glitch music. Yeah. How I do that glitching is I'm recording my system sounds in real time. And what I do is I highlight I highlight my audio file in FL Studio. I highlight it so thinly tight. You know what I mean? That it does that glitch and I'm recording, the sound of that. Like you know what I mean? Like as I'm editing the actual song in FL Studio, I'm like recording the sound of me working on the song, and then I'll highlight a certain aspect that will make that glitchy sound. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about or if you want me to show you what I'm talking about, but, you can highlight in FL Studio, you can highlight, whatchamacallit. It turns everything all red, you know what I mean? I just highlight a small section of it and then I play it and it goes, when I record that, and that's kind of how I do the super glitchy stuff. The other glitches that I do, I just chop it up. There's a option or something on in FL Studio that I forgot what the option was called, but there's an option somewhere where it says like breakdown or Moonbaton, or I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but I don't know. But yeah, this is supposed to be about notes though, not editing. Yeah, I can't sing. I'm an outside musician, I have no life saver. I'm just singing and now my voice is going all over the place, and that's just my fucking music, man. And maybe I'm just musically gifted. If you think my music sounds good, maybe I'm just musically gifted or something. I'm musically blind and I'm making cool gifted. Maybe I am gifted. I always went against the gifted label. Like, I'm not gifted. I have a low IQ of 74. But maybe I am gifted musically because some people like my singing, some people like my instrumental, so I don't know. Then again, maybe my music is shit and I sing like shit and it's just all crap. You know, it just sounds terrible. I don't know.